Hello, relatives. Welcome to this week's Schlagbite for the week May 12th, 2014, entitled Love Your Banana. I often lament the fact that as a culture we have come to believe that if you're feeling anything other than wonderful in every moment, that you could be suffering from a disease, and of course that there is a pill that can help you. I've just finished reading two important and disturbing books that add to this conversation. The first, Saving Normal, by Dr. Alan Francis, who is the former chairman of the Department of Psychiatry at Duke, and who was responsible for chairing the task force that produced the previous edition of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, the DSM-4. He warns that the explosion of mental illnesses in this new rendition, the DSM-5, have no scientific validity, and that we are essentially experimenting on adults and children by giving them potentially harmful drugs. And the other book is by the author and psychotherapist Gary Greenberg, and is called The Book of Woe. And it made me cringe with its disturbing depiction of the abuses that result when we turn mental suffering into a reimbursable commodity. I think that instead of more diagnoses, that we ought to consider this simple proposal. All mental illnesses are a manifestation of a spectrum disorder called life. And in this life, we are all bananas. Most of us are just ordinary, simple bananas. We have our own unique personalities, our own style, our own peculiarities, and most of us learn to live with them and hopefully even learn to thrive because of them. But in life, stuff happens, and that stuff can sometimes throw us for a loop, and we become symptomatic. We become depressed or angry, withdrawn, addicted. And then we become smoking bananas, and we need help. 11% of all Americans take antidepressants, but there are lots of ways to feel better. Feeling better requires reaching out and finding support. Support in people and places, institutions, groups, communities, on whom we can depend and who remind us that we're not alone on our journey and that inspire our hope. Some of us can smolder and smoke for a long time, and it doesn't matter how intense the pain, we find a way to hang on to our suffering. But if you smolder long enough, it's a short jump from smoking to becoming a flaming banana. And you don't need a psychiatrist to tell you who these people are. At this end of the spectrum, people are hallucinating and they're delusional. They can't tell the difference between what's real and what's make-believe. And they need serious intervention. Because we suffer on life's journey does not mean that we are mentally ill. Our suffering is generally time-limited, and our potential for joy and blessing unlimited. We have got to lighten up. We are all bananas. And the most important thing in thriving on this journey is to love the banana that you are. Have a great week. Get connected. This is Mother's Day weekend. Remember your mama. It's our basic connection. And remember that she's never going to forget you. Stay connected, relatives. Joy on the journey and peace I say this for all my relations, mitakuiasi.